bout with Central Florida again tomorrow. As shortstop Aubrey Evans stands in 1-for-1 here tonight. On an infield single as this pitch is popped up, and if it stays in, it'll play, and Emmerling making the catch next to the net for the first out of the inning.
Emmerling, great job with that. Getting out of the box, flipping the helmet, making sure she's calling it.
Number 80, Beth Damon.
And Emmerling, you could see she had a track on it the whole time. As Beth Damon stands in. Damon grounded into a 1-4-3 double play back in the first. As Landry set to fire the 1-0. This is struck well to center field, but Hannah Core underneath it, and 2 quick outs for Sam Landry to start the 4th inning.
Sam Landry, only 44 pitches on the game. I mean, that's really good.
Just efficient.
Right fielder, number 28, Izzy Mertes.
As Izzy Mertes stands in. 0-for-1 here tonight, and a little bit of change of speeds as Landry opens the count with off speed, and not something we've seen her do a ton so far in this game.
No, but I love that she's comfortable enough to do that, because just as I said earlier, you want to attack early because you don't want to get her to that point, but now if she's throwing it first pitch, that's even harder.
And back-to-back off-speed pitches retires Mertes, and Moy getting her first AB of the night. 234 on the year, and the freshman getting some spot starts from time to time early. This ball is grounded to Evans, and Evans will throw her out on the run for the first out. That is the first time a Sooner hitter has been retired to start an inning since the first.
Tam Malloy really scratching and clawing at this lineup. She's got what it takes. And she's just a freshman. She's got to get those opportunities and really take advantage of them, but she's such a skilled athlete. She'll get there.
And McEnroe Marinas stand in 1-for-1 here tonight. Had a walk back in the 3rd, and I think at the time didn't realize the gravity of it, but led off the 3rd inning with a walk, and that sort of got the ball rolling for the Sooners, and came around to score on the grand slam by Ella Parker. Eight hits for the Sooners here tonight. It's Cochran. This is upstairs. And if you look at the stat line on it, it's kind of interesting. 6 runs on 8 hits. 6 of the 8 hits have been singles.
I mean, you just got to pass the torch. Be smart on the base paths.
Cochran falls behind, 3 balls and a strike. Of those singles, we've seen a few infield hits as well. A double. That pitch is fouled back, but of the 6 singles, 2 of those were infield hits. You had the 1 double by Emmerling, and then the grand slam by Ella Parker. But we've also seen a little bit of short game. We've seen runners in motion. We've seen sacrifice bunts.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to applying pressure on the defense can also win you ball games. Make them make a play. Execute your bunts.
3-2 just misses outside. And McEnroe Marinas is aboard with her 2nd walk of the day, and Cassidy Pickering will stand in, and Coach Gasso pulls out the signal card.
that makes it fun too, just piecing it together, not relying on the long ball, which Ella Parker was clutch in that moment and such timely hitting on that, but it means so much more when you know you can kind of piece it together. You're not relying on that.
Cochran on top, no balls and 2 strikes to Pickering. Pickering, we can say it over and over. You want to talk storylines. 13-game hitting streak, 2 for 2 with a run scored here tonight. Sooners looking to add to their 6-run lead. We go back to talking about manufacturing runs, and we've seen the Sooners do it here. And again, it's easy to look and go, oh, the Ella Parker Grand Slam, right? Like, that's easy to look at, but you talked about it, Destiny, just having ducks on the pond and being in those situations to begin with, using the dirt, drawing walks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a walk with Nelly. Gabby Garcia came up and laid a perfect bunt down. And those are the little things that cause a lot of celebration in the dugout, keep that momentum and that energy up.
Something Coach Gasso talked about after the series loss to Tennessee here at Love's Field is it looks like there's going to be a little bit of a shift in the UCF defense as Pickering stays alive. And no shift, just you gotta make sure all the equipment's working, right? Step 1, right? But one of the adjustments Coach Gasso kind of mentioned after that series loss of wanting to see better execution. And I feel like you watch reactions of coaches often, right? And seeing reactions after good jumps or the first and third play. So how, you go back and you look at the short game, not just of laying down bunts or using the dirt, but the base running.
Yeah. No, base running is such a unique tool that's needed. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it, but the importance of that will make or break games. If you're tagging when you're supposed to tag, or if you're tagging and you're not supposed to tag, that can definitely affect the score at the end of the game.
Back-to-back walks for Cochran, and I will say this, she's around the zone, just not able to catch that corner. As Gabby Garcia stands in, and Beth Damon gonna make her way out to have a chat with her pitcher. And Garcia 1 for 2 here tonight with a run scored, and you go back to the at-bat of Gabby Garcia. That single was a sacrifice bunt.
And it was perfectly placed. I think that's one of the skills that really is not talked about either is, can you deaden the ball? Can you make sure that the ball hits the end of the bat when you're bunting? Can you slow it down?
Whatever Beth Damon said, Cochran listened, found the strike zone for strike 1 to Gabby Garcia. Cochran on top of the ball and 2 strikes on a pitch a bit low in the zone, but good location. And here's the thing, you can hear the groans of the fans this side or another. That's been a strike all game.
Yeah.
We've seen it a couple times.
Yeah, the consistency is something that hitters need to pick up on.
1-2 to line right back up the middle. Here comes McEnroe Marinas, and she will be held up. And in a situation that was oh so familiar last inning, Ella Parker has got the bases juiced.
I mean, that was an absolute rocket off the bat. Hard hit ball, dead center. Amy Garcia just showing off her strength on that one.
Garcia sending it right back where it came from, and arguably the hardest hit ball we've seen here tonight.
I mean, that was a rocket.
Ella Parker had the grand slam back in the third to make this game 6-0.
Seeing that UCF defense really trying to keep Cochran alive, hyping her up, talking to her between pitches.
And this is a UCF team that over and over has just shown fight, but Ella Parker back in the third, taking a pitch, and you can just see the excitement, and we talked about it a lot. Ella Parker, it's not a secret she's been struggling here as of late, but almost just the relief and the joy.
I mean, it's almost immediate confidence back in your toolbox. That's what Ella was missing, I think. And we all know she's a great hitter. She sees the ball well. She's very smart in the box. She's strong. She's quick. She's got it all. But I think when you have that doubt in your mind, that affects you big time. And so a hit like that with bases loaded, coming up with that grand slam, it gives you your confidence back.
Well, and if anything, what she's shown, she's human. I don't think anyone thought, right? She's human. I mean, you look at her track of what she did as a freshman, the way that she started February. Again, she hit over 600 to start the year. And again, showing that she's human. But
I mean, to say that Ella Parker was struggling and then we look up and we see that her average is 396, you're not actually struggling. Your expectations are
you're just not hitting over
a little
650.
outlandish. Yeah.
Cochran fires the 3-1 and fouled back. Cochran, since she's entered this game, again, entered back in the third, has only given up one hit, but has put herself in this jam with back-to-back walks. Does a good job of keeping the ball down. She fires the payoff pitch and misses low and away. And I say low and away on the delayed call. And right before I was getting ready to say on a pitch that has been called a strike all game.
Wow. It's that corner. I mean, Cochran has found it. She's stuck to it. And that is a pitch that needs to be protected. Whether you agree or not, it's being called. You've got to fell it off and get it out. Stay alive. And it's no question. It's been called.
You got to tip your hat to Cochran. Bases loaded, Ella Parker at the plate, and being able to hit that spot. Again, whether you agree of the strike call or not, it's happened 3 times in this ball game of that same exact pitch being called a strike. So Cochran being able to spot up. And the Sooners going to a pinch hitter with bases loaded, and Sydney Barker, the freshman. An opportunity here with bases loaded and 2 outs. Barker, 317 on the year, but she's got some pop.
Yeah, and she's got some timely hits.
And speaking of timely plays, Aubrey Evans snatches Ella Parker with the big grand slam back in the third, and that's how we got here. 6-0 as Landry is set to face the 6'7", 8" in Stormy Kotelnik. Kotelnik, a strikeout victim back in the second. And UCF looking to get the sticks going. On the season as a team, hitting .275. But again, a potent offense that finds a way to push runs across and doing it against, again, some of the best pitching staffs in the country. And this is a team that, when you talk about Central Florida, has fight, has spunk, and just absolutely salty. As Kotelnik stays alive. This game right now, again, a good cushion for Oklahoma, but of UCF's 16 losses this year, is this high hopper right back to Landry, and she's going to glove it and take care of Kotelnik for the first out of the inning. It's been a busy night for Landry in the circle.
I was just thinking that. She has fielded her position very well tonight.
Kotelnik trying to get something going and using the dirt. But that'll bring up Ashley Griffin. But when you look at UCF's body of work, again, some really good wins. As I mentioned, 35 in the RPI.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good spot to be, as the first pitch is looped straight at Agbayani and 2 quick outs for Landry. But of their 16 losses, 12 have been by 2 runs or less.
Yeah, I think you've got to be able to finish. And a team like UCF, they're going out, they're playing these tough teams, they've got nothing to lose, they're showing out. But I think one thing that Cindy Ball-Malone had mentioned is, where do we want to be on that Selection Sunday? We're playing the good teams, we're showing up, we are sometimes beating the good teams, but what does it look like when we're playing those teams that are lower RPI?
And that looks like that's going to close the book on Sam Landry today, as the Oklahoma Sooners are going to go to the bullpen, and Oklahoma making the pitching change here in the 5th, and going with Audrey Lowry, the freshman, battling some injury and working her way back. But Landry, what a start.
No, it's been fun to see her. She hasn't had that many opportunities, haven't seen her a ton, but I love when she gets these chances in the circle, I think, to really show her talent, what she's capable of. And from what I understand, she's a really good pitcher. We've just got to get her settled in, give her more opportunities out there, get her comfortable, get her some confidence.
And Audrey Lowry on the year, 5-0. Just over a 2 ERA, 30 innings pitched. But when you look at Lowry on the season, just a freshman, 9 appearances. But you go back to the very opening weekend of the SEC for Oklahoma, and what were 2 extremely high-scoring ball games to open up that series. And Audrey Lowry came out on the final day and held down South Carolina.
Yeah.
In what would be her best outing so far this season. Again, has not seen a ton of time here in the coming weeks, was not available against Tennessee last weekend, and back at it here this evening.
I think one stat that really stands out is her 2 walks to 31 strikeouts. And just as a freshman, she has faced some tough opponents, some tough hitters, but I think that's a big stat for a freshman to come out with only 2 walks in the season. That's huge.
And that's really an adjustment. And I think that's something, too, we look at Isabella Vega for Central Florida as well. Her walk numbers very low. Walking into this game, struggled with the walks here a little bit in her start tonight. But that's something that's difficult for a freshman pitcher.
Yeah.
Of feeling, how do I nibble at the plate, but still work ahead and counts.
Yeah, and I mean, just a freshman overall in this sport, like your whole life has been an adjustment. You are going to school, you're going to study hall, you're going to practice, you're doing all these things, you got morning workouts, you've got so many adjustments. So just the lifestyle in general for her to come out, and any freshman, and do so well, finding the zone and trusting your mechanics. It's tough for any freshman in this sport.
Kendall Yarnell in the pinch hit spot in the 8th slot for UCF, and this pitch is flared to the right side, but gonna fall foul. And Yarnell, also a freshman, again on this very young UCF team, hitting .317 on the year. Seen some starts, has appeared in 33 games for the Knights, but 40 at-bats. Lowry looking to shut out the 5th inning, and she'll do just that. Swing and a miss, and she'll sit down Yarnell. Sooners on top 6-zip as we go to the bottom. Ailana Agbayani.
And I think this is something we've seen in the past, is just kind of piecing it together with different pitchers, trying to keep this OU offense off balance, not allowing them to get too comfortable off of one pitcher. We will see a lot more speed here with 72 velocity. She's got a good off speed that we can look forward to. I think it's a good call here, trying to mix up what these pitchers can do.
Each of these pitchers for UCF, each bring a different look. Yeah. And when you're trying to build a pitching staff, and again, especially as young as this UCF team is, you're trying to build a pitching staff. You want those different looks, and you know, every pitcher on the staff is a righty. But when you look at Isabella Vega, also a freshman who started this ballgame as that rise ball climbs the ladder for strike 2. But you look at Isabella Vega, and it's safe to call her a spinner, kind of a thumber. And then Elkins, a little more velocity, but really working up and down, and Cochran in the mix, but working left to right. And then you're able to go back to Lopez, hardest thrower on the staff.
Yeah, and it's a total different look, even just the feel, the style of pitching. We're seeing Lopez kind of with that lower squat down in her legs. I mean, those are all adjustments that as a hitter, you've got to figure out where the release point is. She's got very long arms, long release.
And you can see Lopez, I mean, you can talk about the velocity and the movement. Last pitch coming in at 68 miles an hour. But when you see the delivery, like you said, Destiny, that low start as that rise ball climbs the zone. And another thing that makes a rise ball a little bit tough is when you are seeing that release point from a low angle.
Yeah. I mean, Lopez, one of their better pitchers, I think. Seeing Cochran getting called upon and the way she executed, she did get herself into a little bit of a jam, but she was able to get out of it. So I think that allows her to get some confidence in herself in the circle. And I think all of these pitchers having this opportunity against an OU offense and being able to perform as well as they have been. I mean, there was one timely hit that put 4 runs on the board. But I think these pitchers have done a pretty good job really piecing it together and allowing the staff to work together.
Corey Hicks getting a pinch hit opportunity. The freshman in her 15th at-bat on the year. Lopez rocks and fires. Curveball just misses outside at 69 miles an hour. Yeah, and I think that's a great point, Destiny, as you look, and we talked about the disparity, the disbursement of hits by the Oklahoma Sooners. 9 hits on the board. Of those, 7 have been singles, and you go back, and I think the way you phrased it was perfect. One time hit.
Yeah. And that's, you know, it's not any pitcher was really doing a bad job.
No, not at all.
I mean, they've done a great job, and even Cochran with not as many innings, not as much experience this season. I mean, she got out of that. That was huge. And I think that puts a lot more confidence into a pitcher when you can get yourself into that situation and get out of it. I mean, that goes to show, and I think that puts a lot more trust in your coaches to put you out there. A lot more opportunities come to you.
Fourth night pitcher here this evening. A little check swing gets rid of the 2-2. Now, if you look at the other side of that coin, 4 of the 6 pitchers in the UCF arsenal have been used here tonight.
Yeah.
Now, something kind of interesting, okay? UCF down 6-0 at this point. Another game with the Sooners tomorrow. UCF has not won a ball game yet this year at a time when they were trailing by more than 5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a confidence and kind of attack mode issue. As you know, you get to that point, and where's the effort? Is it still there? And I'm seeing a lot of effort still in this 6-run lead.
Lopez looking to do something that no UCF pitcher has done here tonight and sit the Sooners down in order. 3-2 rounded to second base, and 2 quick outs for Yesenia Lopez as pitch came off the cap of the bat.
Now batted, center fielder, number 27.
Hannah Core will step in to face Yesenia Lopez. Core 1 for 2 here tonight with a single.
Now, the pitcher with the most innings for UCF, Felton, hasn't come in yet, so they're saving her for tomorrow, I'd assume.
Lopez falls behind. And Felton, Caitlin Felton, 9-3, arguably UCF's ace. But, you know, one thing that this pitching staff, all throughout the season, I mean, their innings pitched are pretty close. As you mentioned, Destiny, Felton with the most, and that's going to get straight through into right field as Hannah Core breaks up the 1-2-3 inning. The single makes its way past the diving Samantha Ray.
Hannah Core just, I love how she took that outside approach, seeing that ball get deeper in the zone, finding that hole between second and first base.
And the single will bring up Tia Malloy. Malloy grounded out to short in her first at bat. Malloy checked in the left field defensively for the Sooners. The 1-0.
It's a good swing.
Good hack on a tough pitch. Wound up in the top part of the zone. A big hack from Tia Malloy, and one thing Malloy has shown, she has got some power but just a pure hitter. And just as Tia knew what I was getting ready to say, she's got some power, but she can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, she's a triple threat.
Yes, I was going to say she is your favorite thing. I was trying to set you up for the triple threat, Destiny.
No, she's got it all. I mean, she's quick. She's got the power. She's got the speed. She's got the barrel control. She can really work the dirt.
This ball is popped up in foul territory, and it's going to get out of play.
That foul ball brought to you by join1oklahoma.com.
Bottom of the 5th, and the Sooners put up a big crooked number in the 4th by way of the grand slam, but have been relatively quiet since then. And Central Florida working around some runners on base, and Yesenia Lopez looking to do just that here in the 5th.
Everybody clap your hands.
As the game has gone on, I was talking earlier about the weather, and I think it's fair to continue. Hasn't creeped down into the 40s quite yet in Norman as this ball is laced. And talk about another tremendous play by Aubrey Evans. Aubrey